Hi, everyone, and welcome to English 102 Rhetoric and Composition. My name is Gracie, and I'm going to be your instructor for this semester. I'm going to introduce myself and give you all a chance to introduce yourselves on our first synchronous meeting, which will not be this Friday, but will be next Friday, January 22nd. I'm usually very awkward with making these and not super tech savvy, so I figured that I would pop on here, say hey, and then go over some things briefly, but leave most of our discussion and chatting and introductions to when we're meeting synchronously. So I'm going to set up the expectations and kind of introduce what 102 is to you, briefly go through the parts of the syllabus that I really want you guys to read closely, and then just tell you your to-dos. There's some other slides that I'm going to be uploading to Blackboard for you, but for now, if after this video there's any questions or concerns that you still have, please don't hesitate to contact me via email or through Slack DM. So I'm gonna get rid of my face now. So if you're in this class, you either took English 101 in the fall or you took an AP class in high school that covered your English 101 credit. The main difference between English 101 and 102 is that 101 was centered around close reading and analyzing and interpreting works of literature in multimodal texts. So you were asked to write a literacy narrative, and then through learning how to close read and craft an interpretation of a work of literature, you were asked to write an argumentative essay about your literary analysis and interpretation, and then to write a comparative analysis. So English 102 is centered around teaching you to take those skills that you cultivated in 101, how to close read, how to analyze, how to use textual evidence to defend your literary arguments, how to think critically about what you're reading, and apply them to the art of rhetoric and composition so that you can make informed, clear, and powerful and persuasive academic arguments. So essentially, they have a lot of things in common because you're still homing the same skills that you learned, but now you're applying it instead of literature to the art of rhetoric and to arguments in a variety of forms. So we'll be watching videos, we'll be reading other people's arguments, and then you'll craft them on your own. So essentially, the whole introduction that you're assigned to read for this week lays out the purpose of 102 and the expectations beautifully. But I wanted to just quickly and succinctly explain to you what my main goal for you all is. So it's to be able to understand, navigate, and participate in the world around you in a meaningful and informed way. So especially in our specific contemporary moment, we are being bombarded with information from news media, on our social media, from our families, on the internet, everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And this can be really overwhelming. And at times it's very difficult to distinguish, quote, fake news from the truth, or what can be trusted as credible and what isn't so credible, what's saturated with bias and what we can trust. So that's what the goal is. How do we analyze and navigate the world around us, and how do we sift through this abundance of information in order to not only evaluate it, but then situate ourselves within that argument? And then we're obviously going to learn how to craft those arguments of our own. So that's our main goal. I'm hoping that because we are all very present in this contemporary moment, that it will be exciting and at times fun and empowering to learn these things together. So the syllabus, really quickly, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I trust that you guys can read it on your own, but I want to make sure that first, you are able to get these two required materials. If you took 101, you already have the Everyday Writer, so you just need this Carolina Rhetoric. But both of these can be purchased through the USC bookstore. If you have any issues, please let me know. I also want to make sure that you understand our course delivery method. So all of the readings, assignments that you have to do, etc., are all done on your own time, but preferably Monday and Wednesday so that you can keep a schedule intact. But you basically just need to have all of those readings done by Friday when we meet synchronously. So during your section's designated class time, you guys will hop onto Zoom and we will have a discussion about the upcoming assignments, the readings, etc. You also need to download Slack. I put the link to download it here and then the link to join our workspace. It looks like the purpose of it is first to notify me when you want to pop into office hours so I know to log on, to tell you by Wednesday of each week what we'll be going over in our synchronous meeting, and then to send you guys some updates and reminders. So I don't want to bombard your email inboxes. You should be checking them daily, but this is just a quick way for me to communicate with you guys. This is the grade breakdown and a description of all of our assignments. What I really want you to read very carefully and intentionally is the assignment expectations. Because this class is so focused on progress and revision, your peer responses and your peer review to each other is very, very important, in order for you to revise your work to the best of your ability, so that you can turn in your final portfolio and feel confident about it. The last thing is to look over our course policies, but then just to keep in mind that we are having this class in the middle of a global pandemic. So if there's any issues that come up with your attendance or with turning work in on time, don't panic. Just make sure that you communicate with me and let me know so that we can navigate that situation together. And the rest of this I'll let you go over, but keep in mind as you're going over the syllabus, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me and ask. And then lastly, just to recap, your to-do for this week is first to finish your discussion board question, which is due tonight, January 13th by 11:59 p.m. That's in Blackboard under Unit 1, Week 1. Then you'll want to respond to 2 of your peers by tomorrow, January 14th by 11:59 p.m. And this schedule, as far as discussion board Wednesday, responses Thursday, will be the same throughout the semester. Our first synchronous meeting will be next Friday, the 22nd. And then I just need you guys to do those readings, join Slack, and then fill out that introduction survey that I sent over email. But you can also access it right here in the updates and reminders channel. So that's all I have for you guys for now. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to either email me or Slack DM me. But for now, have a lovely rest of your first week of class, and I'll see you next week.